we're trying to solve a fundamental challenge, which is that when you buy something in, let's say, East Africa, 25 to 40% of what you pay for a product in Kenya goes to logistics cost. 75% of a Rwandan export price goes to logistics costs. And that's compared to 6% in the US, 8% in Europe. And this is a fundamental constraint on growth in the markets we're operating in. And it's our mission as an organization to bring down the cost of goods across these markets that we're working in, and in effect to remove a binding constraint on growth.
Can we go a little bit deeper just into what the logistics marketplace looks like? Why is it so expensive? And where does Lori fit into the supply chain? And how are you going about increasing the utilization of trucks to therefore reduce the price of haulage?
Let's talk about how it was before Lori. So a lot of the traders, let's say Cargill, they would have a list of hundreds of different transporters. They have a team that calls them. They'll call about, let's say, 70 of them. 40 will answer their phone, 20 will say they're available. They'll enter negotiations, come to terms with 10, and in the end, three trucks will show up at the right time on the right day. This is an extremely fragmented marketplace, and with a lack of visibility and systems to track where the trucks are. What we saw that is that delay that wasn't being driven by the fact that trucks were just unreliable. It was often driven by the fact that there was lack of information and visibility. The trucks delayed were at offloading points. Oh, their loading was delayed by 3 days more. And they just didn't have visibility into what other cargo readiness is. So they had to continue to commit to picking up that cargo. There's just, as I mentioned, a lack of centralized coordination and flexibility in the system. So now what happens is when trucks are delayed, our system will reallocate alternative trucks. When cargo is delayed, we'll send those trucks elsewhere. We'll keep these trucks moving, which are very expensive assets, and increase utilization. In East Africa, the utilization is just over 6%. In West Africa, it could be 3% at times. When you have very expensive assets and overhead on that, it's adding significant costs. So conceptually simple: increase utilization, get more trips per truck, increase revenue for the drivers, and decrease the per trip cost for the cargo owners. It's easier said than done. Operationally, very challenging.